question, what was the purpose? The purpose of mind control and programming, why do you think? Now, those of you who've studied with me before, and most of you have, and know about galactic history and DNA, what type of beings were most involved in controlling and manipulation? Sirius, and who else? Who gave them the... Well, who did they give the technology to? The Reptilians. And Lyrians, yes, absolutely, both. And why would a civilization want to program their own people? To, number one, perpetuation of the civilization. No deviation from what they want the population to do. That's the overall concept of the reasoning behind it. The continuation of the population, of the civilization, without deteriorating it.
So the key here is this Dracos stuff, because within your DNA there are segments that are reptilian. And while they are activated, the reptilians can control you. Have any of you heard of the Montauk experiments that were going on in the US? They were manipulating people using frequencies. Mind games. You know the guy that just blew all these people away in... Harp's a different thing. The guy who blew all the people away he was a Freemason, and he'd been in the States. And so he was one of these people that's been subjected to this. And they use these people to propagate fear.
They said Martin Bryant was one.
Martin Bryant was another one.
Yeah.
If you look into his history, he actually wasn't the one who did that, by the way. There was someone else who did that. He was a scapegoat.
What's his name? The WikiLeaks.
Julian Assange.
Julian Assange, look, he's a whistleblower. He's a whistleblower. He's another person who wants the truth out there. Okay? So the key here is, where do we fit in? Okay, we know who's behind this all. The Dracos through the Illuminati and their building of underground bunkers and manipulating everything. They're the ones who are trying to control us all like puppets.
Yeah, can I ask something?
Yeah.
You said something interesting earlier. You said that the Reptilians, the Draco, basically empower themselves through our fear. Yeah? And if that's the job of the Illuminati, then why are they not out there spreading fear based on this sort of stuff now?
Because if they told you the truth about this, you wouldn't go to work, you wouldn't pay your bills, and anarchy would rule and they wouldn't be able to control you. Because at the moment, there is enough people that if they all stood up against the government, including the police and the army, etc., they could turn around and take charge. So they don't want anarchy yet, but they want to keep you in fear. So they keep you in fear with putting media reports out about how there was a rape in your street and then there was a shooting here, and all the news is all bad news to tell you how bad the world is, to keep you in fear. But they don't want you to know the truth, because if you knew the truth, you would then go for them. They don't want you going for them.
Another theme you find with images around the world is of serpents eating humans. And not nice, it isn't, of course, but they do eat humans. When these reptilians come into visible light, they use humans as their food, like humans use animals, cattle, sheep. And then you'll see the recurring theme all over the world. This is in Central America, the Mayan area. This is a painting by Credo Mutwa from South African myths of the serpent gods, the Chitahuri, eating humans. And this is Alfa Romeo. What's he doing there? What's he bloody doing there? Same thing. And in the garden of one of the palaces, or whatever you call them, mansions of Silvio Berlusconi in Italy, the leader and one of the world's most corrupt men, is again the same image. And outside of visible light, they feed off human energy, human emotion, especially, well, only low vibrational emotion, because that's all they can really access. And so they have to keep humans in a state of mental and emotional suppression so that we keep feeding out this energy, which they then absorb. The road to tyranny began when these reptilians arrived.
The Lyrian star system, for all intents and purposes, is where humanity began. That is the home area of all of humanity. There was also a star system called the Draco star system, and that was basically a reptilian empire. And the reptilians have a mindset where they feel an obligation to seek out and destroy or assimilate all other creatures or species, because they feel the reptilian life form is the most perfect representation of God or God mind. And the reason that they feel that way is because reptilians in the Draco star system are androgynous, meaning male and female in the same body. And so they feel that most closely represents the neutral God mind or God energy. Also, reptilian DNA does not change over eons of time. It basically stays the same and does not alter, whereas mammalian DNA constantly changes and adapts as environments change. And so they feel that because reptilians are so stable in genetics, it proves that they're superior.
The constellation of Umhambi, the one who travels very, very far away. And we call this constellation also the constellation of Matsieng, the giant who was sent by God to this earth.
And now ABC is coming out, Disney ABC is coming out with a new remake of V, and in it the extraterrestrials that look like humans who are bringing a, quote, new order to the world. And the pamphlet in the movie is called Dawn of a New Day. I was like, wow, I cannot believe how overwhelmingly obvious this secret symbol is now becoming.
I have seen the cheetah. I have smelled them. I've had personal experience of these. And there are people who claim that these creatures are gods. There are people who claim that these creatures are experimenting on us. That is a lot of rubbish.
They're carnivorous. They are not friendly to mankind, at least the ones that are here. There are 1,833 of them that have been living underground between 100 and 200 miles beneath the surface. They've been here, some of them have been here a long, long time.
What have you seen them do?
I've seen all of them drink human blood and consume human flesh, and they have their own goblets in which they have blood, and these goblets are encrusted with jewels. And they also have their own daggers, and that the dagger goes into the goblet, and they stir the blood around with it, and it's also what it is, it's a symbol of the phallus going into vagina.
You talk about your lineages like your Rothschilds, and they have been intermarrying with what the public calls aliens, and so that these people aren't human as we would know human. They've been pretty thoroughly demonized. If we go back in time, the chief advisor to Queen Elizabeth I, Sir John Dee, he was a Kabbalistic black magician. He had gone to the continent and learned from the top Jewish Kabbalists black magic, and he was the chief advisor in the British Empire, and he created Enochian magic and the Enochian language, which the Illuminati, which are hiding behind the Jehovah's Witness headquarters, they use Enochian rituals. That's what the power of the Enochian magic is. The watchtowers. That's why they call it the Watchtower Society.
They can never say eat humans?
Yes. And they need to be, they won't eat a dead human. It has to be alive at the time of the killing. their preference as children. You know, and we've been told, you shouldn't talk about that. You know, there are other people, you know, bull. You know, why not? According to the Andromedans, they're responsible for 31,712 children disappearing in the last 25 years from the United States. These children were food. And I'm supposed to just shut up and not say anything about it because people don't want to hear it? That's tough. That's tough. You know, Westchester County, in the last 5 years, 3,000 children in Westchester County, New York, have vanished without a trace. Where are they going? Why are we allowing this to happen?
Yes, I have seen at rituals, I have seen George Bush, I have seen Madeleine Albright, I have seen Henry Kissinger, I have seen Ronald Reagan, and I have also, by the way, seen his wife, Nancy Reagan. I have seen Hillary Clinton before I knew she was Hillary Clinton. At the time, at these rituals, she is involved. The other people that I have named and I've seen shapeshift into reptilians. I have not seen Hillary Clinton actually shapeshift, but she is involved.